that depend on if you have another creature, another creature would say maybe it's white, another one would say maybe it's red, right?
So the colour of the bottle
So-
isn't inherent to the bottle. The colour of the bottle is a reflection of its relationship to you personally.
Yeah,
Which
depend
is
on
very important.
no. So that the correlation we are talking about the correlation of the product. So, for example, that chair can be for me. Let's say it's 5 kilo for me, and five. Let's say this chair is 5 kilo, 5 kg, right? 5 kg means for me it's a 5 kg. Maybe some other type of animal, it's not be a 5 kg like exactly the way it is because. Well, yeah,
No, I think it has a consistent mass. As
it has a
point of
consistent
fact.
mass,
Okay,
but
and in
the other
other
person will perceive it differently.
No, they. Hang on.
Okay,
It might seem.
no, I'll tell you.
hang on.
I'll tell you.
It may
If
seem-
they
it may
want,
seem
I'll
lighter
give you an
or-
example.
hang on, it may seem lighter or heavier, yes, but that doesn't mean that you're disagreeing on what that it has
No,
the same
I'm
mass.
saying I'm giving another explanation here. Now imagine a ant is crossing by this, and I put my bottle of this how much? Let's say 1 kilogram, right? 500 milliliter. The ant would be crushed. So the perceivement of the weight to ant is too much, but I can carry the
You're saying
500.
that
So
light and heavy are
that's
relative, and they're relative to the person, and you're correct. Light and heavy are mass. So the mass is an inherent property of the object. Its lightness or heaviness is in their relationship to the person trying to pick it up. The colour of this bottle is relative to the eyesight of the person looking at it. If you're colourblind, you may see it differently.
But that's
it's not inherently green. What it inherently does is reflect
I see where
light
you're
in
coming
a
from.
particular way.
I see you're coming
Okay.
from. This is what you perceive, but this is what you
Yeah.
deem to be perceived.
Breaking down phenomenology.
No,
by
I-
noting
I-
that there's
I-
a lot of things in
I see,
phenomenology which you yourself dynamically are adding to the picture. They're not in the object. They're not in the.
But
green
no,
is not in
no,
the bottle.
the assumption we are making that we are doing our best of ability. Now, if I am not all-knowing, and if I am not aware of the product, I can make the best guesses and best assumption, but it doesn't conclude that I know everything.
Agreed.
Right. So that's where we say, if you look at the universe and everything around us, yes, we can perceive some of the things we can see and rationalize within our minds, but there could be more than what our understanding is.
Yes, they could.
Right.
However, countering that is Occam's razor, which says you should try and use the simplest possible axioms to explain as much data as possible.
But it doesn't apply. I'll tell you why. Because I'll tell you why. Because if your rational reasoning is telling you that I cannot conceive the full mechanism of the tree, that does not necessarily mean that mechanism doesn't exist.
Agreed.
Right. So therefore, we can clearly see two things here: the limitation of our mind about how we perceive things, and the limitation of and the unlimitation on the other counterpart that I cannot perceive. So I can both reflect in a both ways. What I am saying to Tony, you are seeing in one angle about what we can perceive, and I'm saying, if you look at the object you are perceiving, there are other things within the perceiveness which you are discrediting. That's what I'm saying.
Other things within the perception I'm discrediting. An example. So
An example, like for example, if you say why the tree is that height.
Okay. What am I discrediting?
So if you say,
I'm asking a question about the
no.
tree,
Now, if I would say, okay,
which predicates on an
okay,
assumption.
would you know how many leaves in the tree?
No.
Therefore, that tells you that you don't know about the tree, because if you know, you would have tell us how many leaves in there.
It means I don't know the ontological tree completely, but it equally isn't true to say I know nothing about the tree. I've got a
Yeah,
very
correct.
strong sense of
I give
its
you that. I give you
location
that. Yes.
And its
So-
mass and its height and my expectation of what it will do. For example, my expectation is it won't start tap dancing. It won't start cooking or singing.
So what-
because I've built a pattern in my mind of what trees are like, and it seems to work pretty well. This is the principle of self-consistency.
No, I agree some of the things, which is goes aligned with the example of the tree. Then what we are saying is, I am saying the things, whatever we are perceiving, is requires an external information to tell us what is why the things is like this. Why is not shorter?
Yeah, we
why,
get empirical input. We get empirical input, and we process it into concepts, and we build a model of the world in our head. What we expect the world
No,
to behave
that's wrong. I'll tell you why. That's wrong.
Wow.
Because I am creating a phenomena that I know things, and based on these things, you are driving that. But in first premise, you already said you don't know, so therefore you can't say I know and I don't know at the same time.
Okay, to be clear, so now we can go back to I am.
Sorry, I don't want to misquote you. Yeah.
No, this is why I am so important. I am is my only assertion of knowing for sure, 100%. Everything thereafter is less than 100% likely. Like the fact there's a world out there, it's not 100%. The fact it's self-consistent, it's not 100%. But they're very high.
Look, I agree with 100%. But look, again,
well, the
if
tree
you
is not 100%
no,
there.
exactly,
Exactly. But I think we can agree the tree is at least 90% there, 99% there.
What would say, we don't want to put any percentage. What we say, there are some.
I really do.
No, but
99% is good for me.
No, I think, do you know why you can't put a percentage?
Why not?
You need to know the things.
No, known to me what? If
No,
I know
if
it
no,
to mean
like,
100%,
no,
I can't.
Tony, in order to define something, you must know things.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No,
can you have a definition without knowing?
Definition of no.
Okay,
Do you
so
mean 100% certain?
no, I'm not putting anything. I am just
What do you
plainly.
mean by no? I'm asking you to define no.
Okay, no means know about how many lives there, know how long
What
will it
level
live.
of certainty does the word no imply to
No,
you?
I'm giving you what should be known, right? In your realm of.
Do you mean
I'm setting up the criteria. I'm setting up
asking
the.
if the word no to you means 100% certainty, or can it mean less than 100% certainty?
No, 100% in.
Okay. I don't think you can know that. I can know I am
No.
100%, but I can't know the tree certainty.
Nobody can know. And that's why it tells you again, confirm that we need to have an explanation of what actually tree entails
We'll
about.
give it our best shot.
Exactly. That's why we say that revelation comes. This is what the understanding. So this clarify the gaps where the knowledge of the things that not known to our realm of understanding, limited understanding, has been given to us
Allegedly.
so that we can connect.
Allegedly. Yeah,
Not allegedly.
Are you leading to the Quran?
Yes,
I like that we're not. I like it when we're just talking.
Come on,
philosophy.
accept it, Tony.
No.
You're close there.
Our conversation's been very fruitful, I think, when we're talking about philosophy, which is informed and interfaces with all the world's religions. But because we haven't actually framed it within that context, we may
No, I think it alludes to the fact that because where we are closing down ourselves, we are closing and knowing that there's something else we need to interpret how we are understanding it and also further know the topic we are discussing, right? Now, I am saying is that word needs to, if your reason indicate that this road ends up and there will be something there, then would you not say, okay, the roads is end here and not there?
The road ends here, not there. No, we're making progress. We're making progress.
Tony will say Shahada. He will say Shahada.
After the initial problem, we're making progress.
Yeah, atheist, then you convince him.
I don't want to make him an atheist. I don't want to do that.
No, he will
No?
he will be unhappy because if you take Shahada, he will become unhappy.
I want to help him to be a good Muslim if that's what he's decided to do. That's not true.
This guy lives in Kukulan.
There are good people. There are good individual people, and I'm talking with this particular individual, and I like him to be the good individual.
Okay, fine. Let's have a fruitful conversation. Let's have a fruitful conversation. So, going back to the point that I am saying, the worlds around us. Summarize it, yeah. The worlds around us needs an external explanation because our limited mind, limited ability cannot comprehend.
There are things I don't understand, so I can't be certain.
Okay, whether you say there are few things you understand or know, make decision, all of those things are completely uncertain. Why? Because it's not known.
But when you say completely uncertain, they exist on a
No,
sliding...
uncertainty.
My epistemology, my knowledge, exists on a sliding scale of certainty. Which starts at 100, I am, and ends down at 0 where I know nothing. Most of my assertions I can put on that sliding scale, and I'm 99% sure of all the basic ones we've discussed already. Like, there are subjects, there are objects.
No, of course.
I'm in a self-consistent universe, you exist, I interpret there is an ontological reality, I interpret it through a heads-up display. I'm at least 90% sure all of those assertions are accurate.
No, but
so far that's pretty
like
good.
I said, I would agree that we don't know things, which I have brought up, you agreed, but I don't like to put percentage because you know why I don't. Okay, no,
Being evasive, why?
no. It's fundamental to understand that in order to make a percentage about, okay, how is the 100% pure, 80% pure, 70% pure?
Well, there's a fact. If you analyse it, you'll
Yeah,
find out.
right, fine. Now imagine, let me make the claim for the tree. Okay, which, look, can you say how long will it live? Can you make a guess?
Oh, I can make a guess.
Yes. But is the guess reality?
I don't think that's a real
Exactly.
I don't think that's a real question.
No, now if you say,
Is the guess reality? I don't think it's a real question.
no, it is a, no, you know why?
Do you mean
Because,
is the guess accurate? Do you mean that?
yes, I didn't mean that.
Or do you
Yeah.
mean is the guess? I don't know. I won't know until it dies.
That's why we say knowing and putting a percentage unit, even if
But I have to. This is the point. In life, I inevitably, I said life breaks down into inevitabilities and contingencies. I inevitably have to make choices. Okay? And when I make choices, I have to evaluate the probabilities of things. I may not do it very well, or I may do it well. I've got to try and evaluate the probabilities as best I can. Like, today I'll go home and I'll walk across that road. Okay? Now there's a chance I'll get run over. Okay? But I think the probability I'll get run over is so low that I'm willing to take the risk I might be able to make it across that road because I've done it hundreds or thousands of times already. Yeah, but I don't know
But,
for
you know,
sure.
we are not
that
talking
I'm
about
making
that,
a
no,
choice
no.
based on the probability.
No, exactly.
Okay?
I mean,
and I'm making all my choices based on probability.
I'm not in
So I
denial
would-
of that. I'm not.
Excellent.
I'm,
So then you should
no,
use probability.
no. I'm talking about the probabilistic scenario tells us
Yeah.
that you know for certain with the tree example.
I don't
Right?
know for certain. Certainty means
Okay,
100%.
certain. Okay, where does certainty come from? With knowledge.
No, I don't believe I can know anything 100%.
No.
beyond what I
Okay.
have.
When you say certainty, how do you become certain if you don't know it?
I don't become certain. You guys, this is a problem. You guys seem to be obsessed with the idea that you've got to be certain, and I already am convinced.
So
you
would you-
need faith. You will never get.
So
that
would you
kind of
say your
certainty.
existence is a certainty?
Yes, we agreed at the beginning.
Okay. How do you know certainty?
I am is certain. We both agree. Thereafter,
No, I am
everything-
saying if I apply this stool of hyperskepticism that you are applying now, on that basis you have to retract that I don't exist. Because you
I
cannot.
don't-
No, you know why? Because you say certainty, and I said certainty cannot come itself without knowing it. Because in order to know something, after certainty comes later. You need to know these things.
I thought we agreed at the beginning.
No, I said if you apply this model of
I am applying the model. We both agreed at the
no, that's
beginning.
what I said. Depend on how much you know things. That's why I said how much certain.
Now you don't. Are you in any doubt that you exist?
No, I don't have any issue.
Okay, so
my
you're
my
100% sure
my,
you
my
exist.
simple argument is I exist, great.
You're 100% sure
I am
that you
100%
exist.
yes.
Okay, right, great,
No, but
excellent.
the question
so I'm
is-
not so hyper-skeptical. You're not so hyper-skeptical in Northern Ireland. I'm 100%
I am not
sure I
hyper-skeptical
exist,
at all.
and you're 100% sure you exist. But I know I can't be 100% sure.
Where
I'm
this
not.
conversation is going, I don't know.
We're going back to the roots because I thought we'd established foundational
No,
agreement,
I-
and now you seem to be heading back. And so
No,
yes,
I'm not heading back.
Well,
I am
you're
saying,
you're
I am
expecting
saying,
more
I am saying, when you evaluate and when you understand something and realize that you don't know,
Yeah.
then you cannot make a percentage of how much you know and how much you don't.
Oh, I think you're totally wrong. I think that's just utterly
Okay,
not true.
okay, give me your argument.
I think I just did, for example, me crossing the road.
No, I'm using. Let's stick with this
use
example.
inference. We need to.
No, I have given you a live example. The tree is next to it,
Yeah,
and I've given you. I've told you that that tree
Yeah.
itself existing here. How much knowledge about
I
that
can't be
tree?
100% sure that's true.
Okay, so you say even if you do can't be 100% sure, but you can
Because I'm
put
being
some.
diligent and
No,
skeptical.
you can put some percentage there, right?
So I will make-
I'm not misquoting them.
And
Okay,
I'll make, and I'll
okay.
make the clear
Let me.
assertion, I think, is that.
Now, what
I
I'm
think
saying
it's
that
a
Kenneth,
minimum of 99%.
and I
sure.
am saying that you don't know. I'll tell you why. Because you don't. Yes,
I just said I
you
don't
know. But first premise, you said you don't know. But
Correct.
if you don't know something, then can you make a guess on that?
Yes, of course.
I think we
That's
should
what being alive
No,
is.
I think that you're not
That's
genuine.
what being alive is.
No. That's called hyperskepticism.
Right, well,
How
look,
can you
look,
how can you make a claim?
Then you're totally unaware of your own experience of life. Every second
I
of
am
the
completely
day,
no. That's
every
a false
second
claim
of
as
the
well.
day, you're making hundreds of conscious and unconscious guesses about the world that
No,
you're in or how it's
what
going to operate.
what you're trying to say, you can
You're
make
not aware of that.
you can make a guess without knowing it. I say even if you guess it, you need to know something.
I don't. Maybe you do, and then I have no idea how you get through life. I don't need to. I get through life every day and have done for my entire life by making educated guesses about what seems most likely.
When you say guess, you mean best probability.
The best probability. I mean, I got the highest
Yeah.
probability,
So,
and I learn the highest probabilities using inference, which is a combination of induction and deduction, and a belief that I live in a self-consistent universe and the principle of
No, I think we are losing the point, Tony.
I'm absolutely anchoring in the point.
No, we are losing the point. So we because
So I don't need to kid myself. I know the tree is there. I know I don't know 100%, but functionally, in
okay,
terms of guessing,
let's say you make a claim you know about 70%. How do you know that 70%?
I don't know why.
So therefore you retract
No,
your
I
question.
don't have the burden of knowing. You're placing the burden for me to be 100%
No, I am saying
sure, and I've been telling
that
you in
is
advance. I don't
that
know.
is the implication is that we are short in
I'm
we don't
making
have
my
the
best guess.
exactly. So
By
the best
definition, a guess is
exactly
not a
that's
certain knowledge.
the best guess actually telling you have a limitation of knowledge, but there are external information out there which you don't know.
Which is why I'm guessing,
And I am saying
because I'm wise.
okay, now I give you that. Now why don't you look at the claim that they say the claim that makes basically the Quranic claim telling us that Allah is the creator of the tree.
I am looking at that, and I think the probability seems increasingly low the more you look at the empirical evidence. I can't discount it. It
The
may
Quran
be
is
true.
not are you saying Quran is an empirical evidence?
I'm saying evidence interfaces at numerous levels, conceptual and empirical. When you can access empirical evidence, you should.
When you say empirical, what level of test are you saying you're going to imply to the Quran? Because that's a good question, isn't it? I would really want you to reflect
The
on
answer to
that.
that question, when you get the answer to that question is so obvious that it's difficult for me to.
It's a difficult question. I give you that.
No, it's difficult because it's so simple. Okay, it's difficult because I use it every day and I should instantly be able to go bang, bang, bang. I know that, scientific theories, let me do scientific theories. A scientific theory is a concept, okay? It's not an empirical thing, it's a conceptual thing. But its validity interfaces with a series of empirical experiments.
I think
It's
let's stick with
it's entangled in an empirical system, yeah? The concepts are validated or invalidated by empirical tests insofar as that's possible.
Maybe stick to the example on the Quran.
That's why I'm talking about the
the Quran. So what? I mean,
okay,
you're talking about methodology.
okay,
methodology.
fine,
Yeah.
fine. Then
Methodology.
The Quran makes certain conceptual assertions, which can, to some degree, be tested. Some of them can be tested empirically.
Yeah.
For example, the world was created in 7 days.
6 days.
Fine, 6 days. That's an assertion. Empirically, you can test that. Okay?
How?
You can carbon date stuff. You can take physical matter and you can go, I can carbon date how old is this. Now maybe carbon dating is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
but
do
carbon
you
dating.
agree that 13.8 billion years of gas that scientists are saying the universe started 13.8 billion years ago? Do you agree with that?
Well, I think number one, I'm not enough of a physicist to know for sure. Number two, I strongly believe that up until about 6 months ago, scientists were going, yeah, we think it's 13.8. But in light of the James Webb Telescope, a chunk of them are now saying, oh, actually, we think it might be more like 24 billion. Okay? So they might be shifting the timeline. Either way, I place a fair chunk of my faith in them. I don't take what they say
So
for granted. But when it's empirical data, I trust
But
people who can prove things.
empirical, when you say empirical, so these, can we apply empirical test to prove the universe timing, how long the universe is here for?
You can do your best. There's empirical evidence
So that
feeds to
then,
it.
then when empirical evidence, what does it mean?
Do you think there is evidence through the senses?
Sensor.
Material,
Okay.
object. In other words, object.
Okay.
This empirically, we can both.
Okay.
We can both
Can it be
confirm phenomenologically.
Can it be 100% empirical without bringing assertion?
No. That's why you can't be certain about anything.
So
It's
that's-
always
thank you,
probability.
Tony. I agree. Thank you for that. Because many of them they say no, we can empirically prove.
No,
I say
I know
no,
I can't.
exactly.
The only thing I can be 100% sure
So
of is
so
I am.
so that therefore.
But it's incredibly likely this bottle is here. Okay? I'm living my life on the basis, and so are you. You wouldn't want me to.
You know
pour
that
this
is a
over your
paradox
head.
of your what you have said because
Why is it a paradox?
because you said you 100% agree that you exist. Are you saying
That's the only thing. I exist is 100% assertion.
okay?
That's
So
100%. All other comments are less than 100%, but they're all like 99.9999999. Yeah?
but then
That's
again
all, because I'm being
those
diligent.
percentage actually not from knowing is a guesswork and
Yeah,
guesswork can be wrong.
Of course. I don't expect not to be wrong. I
So
expect
that's
that
why
I'm
that's why
largely
that's why
ignorant.
now Quran now you cannot test this empirically this verse.
Not test what?
This verse when you say the Quran said that Allah created the
No, I
heaven.
can, because if the assertion contradicts the empirical evidence.
Now it tells us we go back to the rational
Well,
logic.
if I've got two contradictions, the fundamental thing I placed my faith in at the beginning was the principle of non-contradiction. Okay.
Now that's going back. That's
I'm
going
going
back.
back. So foundationally, I
Yeah.
said I'm going to buy into the principle, the eternal principle of non-contradiction. That's how the universe works. Maybe it doesn't, but whenever I place trust and faith in that principle, it keeps yielding positive results.
So when you-
it helps me make excellent predictions. It helps to explain things, and it's the anchoring axiom of inference. And
That's
I'm
a-
using the tool of inference to build my models of reality, conceptually and empirically, and it works in the lab. And these are the best tests. The best test of something is empirical in a laboratory, where I tell you in advance what will happen. I go, if I've understood this correctly, that aeroplane will fly.
No, I
if
think-
it travels down a runway at a particular speed and it's shaped a particular way, and then it does. So I tell you in advance,
All of the
and it
things-
flies. That's excellent evidence.
No, all of the things are talking about the phenomena that we observe in the reality, and I'm not in denial of that.
Good. We agree.
What we are
I like that we're agreeing on a lot of things.
lot
This
of
is
things,
important.
but
And these are
I'm-
foundations.
Yeah, foundation. And I would say going back to the Quran, where you know we end up that okay, if you suppose that empirically we need also our logic.
Because I believe in self-consistency. That's my core tenet.
Okay,
Self-consistency.
now let's-
So if
let-
I get
let's
an
look
asser-
at-
hang on,
let's-
wait. So if I get an assertion from one source, say the Quran, that the Earth was created in X days, and I get an assertion from another source, which is scientific community, the physicists or chemists, who go, oh no, it was created, it took 30.
It doesn't matter. Okay, let's say-
If those two assertions contradict, if I believe in the principle of
But-
self-consistency, I know that one of those assertions is stronger or
That's
weaker
why.
than the other. Yeah?
That's why important you brought that up. That's why even if we agree both parties, and if it is let's say 50 billion years, that's fine for argument's sake. Then we have to still go back to the general logic. Where does that come from at that time? Going back to the time, and that's why Quran.
That's a question you're posing. It's a more sophisticated question.
Yeah, so that's why.
Where
That's
did it come from?
Exactly.
Assumes there's a number of assumptions built into that question that you must be aware of when you ask.
Yeah,
It's
but
not an automatically good question. It could be a fake question.
No.
Because it predicates on an assumption that there was a time when there was nothing. Yes.
right. So good.
And that may not be the case.
Now you don't answer it before I ask the question.
Okay, fair enough.
So I will go back to that argument where the Quran presents that Amhumul Khaliqun.
Presents what?
Amhumul Khaliqun, self-creation. By certainty, we know we didn't create ourselves.
No, I don't know that. I know I am. And these other things are conceptual these are concepts and inferences which I can judge on a scale of probability, and I absolutely don't know.
I don't know whether you understood what I have
I
said.
totally understand. I believe I do.
So, if you
You're
say-
assuming an act of creation
No, I am-
had to occur. It's in your question. We cannot
No, I am
create
not saying.
ourselves.
No, you
Predicates on creation occurring.
because you have to exist before your existence, which is absurdity.
No,
Do you not
no,
follow
no,
that?
To you it seems absurd.
No, I am not. Because if you say I can create myself,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there may have been no creation.
now you change the goalpost.
No, that's what I'm
No, I say-
This is what I'm consistently trying to say. If the universe is eternal, which cosmologists, some cosmologists, and I've shown the data, I think it was Sabor 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a fair chunk of cosmologists, Nobel Prize winning ones, they think it's possible the universe was eternal. If the universe was eternal, there was never a time when there was nothing. which means the universe,
But then
the universe was then not created. It is just a brute reality, which was always the case. So the word created is no longer relevant. It wasn't created, it's perpetual. Perpetual means non-created.
No.
The cosmologists think that's a possibility.
But-
I'm not saying it's true, but it's possible.
Exactly. What I'm talking about, you have a group of scientists. And there are a large group of the scientists for it, and there are a large group of scientists they are not for
They're
it.
undecided.
Exactly. So it's not a general consensus. They agreed this supposition. Okay, universe is
I'm
eternal.
not claiming that for 1 minute. I'm
Fine.
claiming that
Fine.
if
Fine.
those guys
Fine.
who really know the topic are unsure,
Fine.
I'm a wise man if I'm unsure as well. Therefore, I use modal logic and I go, okay.
But do
so
you
let's assume
do
there's
you
a
do you
chance-
follow the universe is expanding? Do you follow the universe is expanding?
As a physics layman, I will trust what they tell me to a fair extent. I'll give a fair amount of credibility to them, and I'll give more credibility to the top physicists than to anybody else. Unless you can explain to me why I should be listening to someone.
You know, I
who's
think
got
there is
team
two
leads
two
and
issue
theory.
I have. Two issue I have here in this argument.
I think the universe is expanding. Redshift seems to corroborate it, but I don't claim I'm certain. And I know that I'm investing a lot of faith in the scientists. Maybe they're wrong with information, but so far they keep paying off.
Just
Okay, so far
have
they
you ever
keep
thought that if we reverse the process of expansion, it is expanding, and if we reverse the process, what will happen?
the big crunch, which is one of the hypotheses.
Yeah.
The expansion and contraction.
Yeah, contraction. So therefore, contraction in one point has to be comes into the place, because contraction cannot go on for forever.
Again, you've eliminated the possibility of eternity, of eternal matter.
No, eternity I am believing to happen.
It can't go on forever.
No, I am saying that is an absurd idea. Why should we go
It's
eternity?
difficult to conceive.
You know,
that-
this is called infinite regress. You are
I know.
no, but
you
you
guys,
know, but
I
you are
have far
made.
less problem with infinite
No,
regress
but
than
you are applying within the finite product, and I'm saying it's not for finite product, because we are talking about the universe itself. Do you see how you contradicting yourself?
No, I understand that, I'm afraid. I understand that infinite regress is difficult to conceptualize and it's difficult for me. But the apparent absurdity of infinite regress has been spoken about a lot historically in the context where everyone assumed that the universe had a beginning, that it wasn't eternal. But if you
But they moved from that to now.
Well, there's
starting,
two
yeah,
possibilities.
exactly.
Okay, there's two possibilities. The universe had a beginning and it wasn't eternal, or the universe didn't. There are two possibilities. Now imagine those two universes. In the first universe where the universe had a beginning, infinite regress seems very difficult to wrap your head around, and it seems very
Absolutely.
unlikely.
Very unlikely.
But hopefully we can at least agree, but in a universe which is eternal, the idea of infinite regress is far more palatable, it's far more consistent. In fact, you could argue it's inevitable. If you're in an environment where you have an eternal sequence, then obviously you have infinite regress. You would have. So the credibility of the argument of
But that
infinite regress
that comes with
predicates-
but that comes with absurdity too.
No, it's conceptually hard for us to gather because you
No.
can't-
That's absurdity, because in that because that implies that we don't exist, but we do exist.
How did you make that massive jump?
Yo,
We've already.
no, I'll tell you why. No, I know,
established
I know, I made a massive jump. I know,
Good.
but
Good. I'm glad.
I know, but because I've already discussed, that's why I've made the jump. Because we already.
Explain the steps.
Right.
Your
Now,
steps.
we,
I suddenly
so if
don't
we
think-
reverse the infinite regress, where did we come from?
It's a fake question. That's the whole point.
No, I don't know why you,
It's a fake question.
when,
In an eternal timeline, you
no,
don't
this is
come
a
from
genuine
anywhere
question.
because It's a brute fact. It's
No, it's not.
Russell.
You know,
No, it's a
what
brute
is-
fact.
what is
It's
fact?
A brute fact.
What is fact?
Is one which is axiomically inevitable and it can't prove itself.
So are you
And
saying
it's possible.
universe eternal is a fact?
I'm saying it's possible.
Possible. So no, it's not fact.
No.
You
It's
see-
possibly.
I don't know whether you.
Oh, sorry. The term
Yeah.
brute fact. Forget the fact. The key word in that sentence was brute, not fact.
Yes.
In other words,
That's it. I
it's an
want to-
assertion which doesn't require a deeper explanation. It goes, you can't dig deeper. So it's like I am. I am is a brute assertion. Okay. I'm not arguing I am because of some deeper argument. I'm saying I am is so intuitively inevitable that if you're in denial of it, you're not living on the planet Earth. So I'm going to start with that brute fact I am, okay? Now, it is possible that the physics of the universe also have the matter in the universe has always been here. There's
But
enough-
that's a belief.
They're all beliefs.
Okay.
That's not a
Now why?
criticism.
No,
Saying it's a
let
belief
me
is not a
tell.
criticism. It's a theory.
No,
It's a viable
I
thing.
think you put too much belief on something which you don't rationally.
No, I do rationally because
How?
it squares all the
No,
circles.
but
because
you,
all the
in
other
one point, no, in one point you were saying.
You're projecting onto me what I believe, and I am
No,
being honest with
no,
you
no,
about
no.
what I think.
No, I agree that you said one thing you are certain about you,
Yeah.
but other things you have been making implication and
I'm
believing
less-
in it.
I'm
Yeah,
less certain about.
believing in it without saying through the
I'm
lips.
not sure if
What
the
I'm
universe is eternal or not. I'm being clear, but it seems logical to me
But
that
for-
if it's
but-
eternal,
but-
then the criticism of infinite regress is a less powerful argument than if it isn't eternal. That seems a totally reasonable inference.
But then again, we look at the phenomenon within the universe itself, within our reality, we see finite things. So the finite things are dependent things.
So we're back. So now we're on the contingency argument. So you do want to go to the contingency?
No, I mean that you pushed me to go there because
Okay, all roads lead to the
I think
contingency argument.
okay, Tony, let's call out for a day next week. Yeah,
Another time.
Yeah, another time.
Yeah, I think
because
that's-
my throat is
Micro
hurting.
and I'm coughing.
Yeah, yeah. Shall I give you some water? No, I think that's an interesting, stimulating discussion.
Yeah, we did the right thing. We built some foundation.
But you need to look at the Quran.
We learnt each other's metaphysical landscape.
No, but I think
Because now we can have discussions about more specific stuff.
I believe that you need to give some. That's my honest feedback. I think I believe you need to look into the Quran.
I've read the first time.
I have sound problem.
I'm a universalist. I believe all religions, most religions, not all, have got real wisdom in them. But I think they're also inevitably contaminated by humans getting some stuff wrong and misrepresenting things. That doesn't put me off them. It puts those people off.
I would only say, like when I mentioned about the external information, what it requires, an external explanation for what we see in the reality. And I would say, if you look into that angle, and if you look at
This is a contingency argument.
no, I'm
And the cosmological argument.
okay. I mean,
The cosmological argument basically fails. Of the two arguments.
no, I look. I am not for it. I am not. Look,
I know, you've moved to the contingency.
no, I'm not. I'm because you've been forced me to go there.
I know. Because, but if I go back just 7 years, I'll see a lot of the pundits around here picking up the cosmological argument, and they started to realise
No, look,
because they're
I-
interfacing with cosmology,
I go by the
they're
Quranic
realising
argument.
it's more fluid. So now they've retreated to the contingency argument, and even the contingency argument they acknowledge. I won't say who, but I could give you the sources. Even they acknowledge all the contingency argument does, and I'm pretty much quoting, is it's there to convert someone from being an atheist to a theist. It doesn't tell you which of the religions to follow thereafter. It just says there must be a necessary being.
That's why I would go by the
No,
Quranic
I don't
argument.
think it even proves that.
No, that's why I go with the Quranic argument. In chapter 52, verse 35 to 37, Allah said, "Am khuliqu min ghayri shay'in am humul khaliqun. Am khalaqu as-samawati wal ardi bal la yuqinun." Allah saying, were they created by nothing or they are the creator of themselves. So Allah is
Or
talking.
did no creation occur? You're presuming a creation.
No, what I'm saying that the verse goes like that, where they created by nothing.
Okay,
Or-
fine, that's the quote. Or third option was no creation necessary.
No,
It seems
no,
cosmologically possible.
let me finish you. Let me finish you. Then God talks about the UC. So you cannot come from nothing. Let me finish you, and then you can have your objection, if you might. Whether you come from nothing or self-creation.
Or eternal existence.
No.
Yes, you can
No,
discounting
no,
that,
no.
which is supported by the cosmology. and
Okay,
possibility.
no.
Yes.
I am saying you believing and imposing an idea to have this possibility.
I'm
You know,
keeping it
exactly.
as a possibility.
No, because if you look at
I'm
the,
keeping it as a
because this is
possibility,
where
that's what I'm doing.
we need to continue an argument, because we need to establish this is finite things in the reality, not infinite. The things we are in, is it finite or?
But I'm sorry, but I can test it. If I could go to scientists who empirically have evidence.
I think we need to call it. We need to call
Yeah,
it.
we'll get back to it. Listen, that was good.
It's loud talking. But
really.
you know, you need to read the Quran. You have a
Yeah,
copy
that's
of
the first page. I prayed today with you guys over that. Yeah, that was good. I think that was good. To be continued. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Aziz.
Aziz. Okay, you're down here regular, I'm down regular.
So we'll catch up another
We'll
time.
chat again.
Thank you. This is like, so had a discussion with Tony. Lot of back and forth discussion. I can't, there's too many points we have to start. I hope this is